From Premier League champions to a team humiliated 4 times in a row, from the feared Anfield to a fragile fortress, from the mighty Reds to victims of their own ambition, is this the end of Liverpool's era? Defending champions now reduced to a laughingstock, hundreds of millions in investment turned into a nightmare. What's really happening behind the walls of Anfield? The fortress that once stood invincible now shows cracks in its foundation. Anfield, that sacred ground where opponents trembled and dreams were forged, has become a place of torment for its faithful. The crimson tide that once swept all before it now drowns in its own disappointment. This isn't the red of triumph or the scarlet of passion that accompanies their famous anthem. This is the crimson of wounds that refuse to heal, the burgundy of frustration that seeps through every corner of this historic stadium. 4 consecutive defeats. Let those words sink in. For a club of Liverpool's stature, this represents more than just a statistical anomaly. It's a crisis that demands immediate intervention, much like a trauma victim requiring emergency surgery. The question echoing through the Merseyside air is simple yet profound. How did the reigning champions, armed with their most expensive squad in history, find themselves in this nightmare? The faces in the Kop tell a story of disillusionment. October transformed from a month of hope into 31 days of despair. Those who once taunted rivals now find themselves the subject of mockery week after painful week. This run of 4 straight Premier League losses marks only the second time Liverpool has endured such humiliation, the previous occurrence being that forgettable campaign of 2020 to 2021. History carries an ominous warning. Liverpool now joins an exclusive club of defending champions who've suffered 4 consecutive league defeats, alongside Leicester City from their miraculous season aftermath and Manchester City's recent struggles this very season. The pattern is disturbing. Both Leicester and City failed to reclaim their crowns in the seasons where they experienced similar collapses. The precedent suggests Liverpool's title defense may already be over before winter truly arrives. Nobody predicted this catastrophe when preseason optimism filled the air. The Reds entered as favorites, their championship credentials enhanced by a transfer window that shocked the football world. £446 million evaporated from the club's coffers, a spending spree that made competitors nervous and elevated expectations to astronomical heights. The early season results seem to justify the investment, with last-gasp victories showcasing the mentality of champions who refuse to accept defeat. But Arne Slot appears to have committed the cardinal sin of overthinking success. Like a chef who ruins a perfect dish by adding unnecessary ingredients, he assembled a squad so bloated with talent that cohesion became impossible. The new arrivals, Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, and Hugo Ekitike, look like strangers in a foreign land, unable to find their rhythm in Liverpool's system. Slot hasn't discovered how to unlock their potential, leaving hundreds of millions worth of talent underutilized. Wirtz exemplifies this dysfunction. Operating as an attacking midfielder behind the striker, he appears lost, contributing neither goals nor assists across 9 league appearances. For a player valued at over €100 million, this output is nothing short of embarrassing. The deeper issue is that Liverpool's identity was never built around creative playmakers of Wirtz's profile. Their DNA celebrates workhorses, warriors like Jorginho Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson, Alexis Mac Allister, and Dominic Szoboszlai, players who cover ground, win battles, and drive the team forward through sheer determination. Wirtz's signing feels like an expensive exercise in satisfying ego rather than addressing genuine needs. The forward line presents its own puzzle. Ekitike and Isak arrived as the solution to losing Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz's departure to Germany, yet Slot can't determine how to deploy them effectively. His experimentation reached desperation levels against Frankfurt when he shifted to a 4-4-2 formation mid-match, pairing both strikers in hopes of sparking something. The tactical gamble backfired spectacularly, with Mohamed Salah becoming collateral damage in the chaos. Speaking of Salah, the Egyptian magician who carried Liverpool's attacking burden last season now struggles to cast his spells. The primary culprit? Trent Alexander-Arnold's absence. Without his creative partner in crime, Salah finds himself isolated, forced to drop deep and collect the ball himself rather than receiving it in dangerous positions. Statistical analysis reveals the scale of this problem. Last campaign, Alexander-Arnold delivered 147 line-breaking passes to Salah, those incisive balls that slice through defensive structures and create goal-scoring opportunities. This season, Salah receives no such service. Jeremy Frimpong and Connor Bradley lack Trent's vision and execution. Bradley has managed a mere 5 line-breaking passes to Salah all season, while the injury-prone Frimpong hasn't registered a single one, preferring to bypass the Egyptian entirely in pursuit of individual glory. Michael Owen raises another uncomfortable truth. Age waits for no player. Salah's physical decline, however gradual, is inevitable. His dependency on consistent service becomes more pronounced as his ability to create from nothing diminishes. Liverpool cannot continue treating him as the sole attacking focal point. Isak and Ekitike should be complementing him, not competing for the same space, not hampering his effectiveness through poor positional understanding. The defensive vulnerabilities run deeper than many realize. Milos Kerkez has become Liverpool's Achilles heel at left back. The Hungarian international simply doesn't possess the quality to replace Andy Robertson. His physical limitations get exposed repeatedly, losing duels and providing opponents with a clear target. Goals conceded through his flank have become predictable. Antoine Semenyo, Brian Mbeumo, and Yankuba Minte all exploited that weakness mercilessly, attacking from the right wing where Kerkez operates. Beyond his defensive frailties, he offers nothing going forward, registering 0 assists in league competition. His connection with Cody Gakpo remains non-existent. No wonder Slot rarely trusts the 21-year-old to complete full 90-minute performances. Ryan Gravenberch's regression compounds the defensive issues. Last season's revelation as the anchor of Slot's system has become this campaign's liability. Injuries played their part, but the real problem is structural. Gravenberch operates without protection, lacking the second midfielder who previously shielded him. Alexander-Arnold's inverted role provided that cover. Bradley and Frimpong cannot replicate it. Slot even tried deploying Joe Gomez at right back specifically to invert and support Gravenberch, a desperate tactical adjustment that highlights the severity of the issue. Opponents now target Gravenberch relentlessly, pressing him whenever he receives possession, knowing he has no nearby outlet. Multiple matches show the same pattern. The ball reaches Gravenberch, and within seconds, opposition players swarm him, regaining possession before Liverpool can establish any rhythm. His isolation creates another critical problem. The space between midfield and defense becomes a chasm that opponents exploit with frightening ease. Bruno Fernandes publicly acknowledged how much he enjoyed exploiting that gap during Manchester United's Anfield victory. Set pieces and aerial duels represent yet another dimension of Liverpool's fragility. Jamie Carragher bluntly stated that this squad lacks the physical presence to compete for headers, whether from corners, free kicks, or long balls. The transition from attack to defense has become a disaster area. Michel Dooms' long ball to Kevin Schad against Brentford perfectly illustrated this weakness. Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate could only watch helplessly as Schad raced through to score past a stranded Mamardashvili. When your supposedly elite center backs struggle with Premier League intensity and your backup options offer no improvement, you're in serious trouble. November looms like a judgment day. The schedule intensifies dramatically with Real Madrid awaiting in the Champions League and Manchester City on the domestic horizon. These fixtures will either spark Liverpool's resurrection or confirm their descent into mediocrity. Slot must solve these complex, interconnected problems immediately. The answers lie in prioritizing collective function over individual stardom, making bold selection decisions even if they upset egos. Benching Isak, Salah, Kerkez, or Frimpong when necessary isn't weakness, it's pragmatism. 4 defeats have stained Liverpool's reputation. Anfield, once the theater of miraculous comebacks, now hosts only disappointment. The faithful supporters can merely hope this darkness represents a temporary storm rather than permanent twilight, praying that dawn will eventually break over Merseyside once more, illuminating the path back to glory. The Reds are bleeding, and the world is watching. Will they survive? That's the billion-pound question. Subscribe for more football deep dives, and I'll see you in the next one.